In part one, this is where we left the automation, and at the bottom of the AI prompt, we are creating some JSON. Now, because we've got two keys in there, resume and covering letter, we need both of those separately. And so we're going to add in an edit fields or set into the automation. Let me just resize this a little bit. Okay, now in order to get the two keys from here, we need to run it. Now we've run search files and folders. Let's run the get job description. And here we have the first job description. You can see there are 3 items which we can see down here. 1, 2, 3, that's the JSON coming through. And the table, if we scroll down, you can see the 3 job descriptions down there. So we've got the 3 job descriptions in. We now need to run the AI so we can get the variables from that. Okay, the workflow has completed successfully. You can see that we've got the little 3 down there saying it's been through 3 times, and we have the output now. If we open up the JSON, we should have valid JSON. Okay, so we have 3 outputs. And we're going to come across to the edit fields. I'm going to change this to JSON, and then we want the output from the right resume and cover letter, and we're going to drag it into here. But let's just delete what is in there. Okay, let's execute this step and see what we get. All right, so now we have resume. If we scroll down, we have covering letter, resume, covering letter, resume, covering letter. So those 3 fields we saw in the last JSON are the 3 separate resume covering letters for each of the job descriptions. Now, if we go back to the plan, you can see that the next step is the reformat resume and reformat covering letter before we create the folder. However, let's go straight to the create job folder and we'll save the resume and cover letter, and then we can see what the format actually looks like and see whether we do need to reformat. So from here, we're going to insert a drive so we can create a folder. Come down to folder actions and create folder. Now the folder name is going to be the name of the company, and that is on my drive. And then the parent folder is the folder that's going to hold this folder we're creating, and it's the applications. So I'm going to just copy the ID of that folder, and we'll go by ID and we'll paste it in here. So let's click on execute step. And you can see that we've got 3 here. We've got the Pixel Forge software, Brightwave Analytics, and Insight Tread CRM. If we go across to the applications folder now, you can see that we've created those 3 folders, and this is the folders that are going to hold the resumes and job covering letter for each of those job applications. Let's close that down, and I'm going to drag this down onto this row so we can continue below, just to give us a bit more space to work. I'm going to just open this and rename it, create application folder, and then we can now go and create a document in there for the resume. So create the doc, we'll call this create resume. The folder is the application folder here, the ID, and the name, we're going to just call it resume. We don't need to give any more details because it's in the correct folder. We don't need to say it's a resume for this application, so that should be fine. Let's go back and we'll put in another docs, and then we'll update it with there's the document ID. We'll update it with the edit fields resume. Okay, we need to go back and run that. Let's just run it. Okay, let's go down to the edit fields and we'll pull in the resume information. And then we need to do the same for the covering letter, create a document. The document is being created inside the application folder. So ID is that, and we'll call this one covering letter. And then let's just update that with another docs. Update document. The document ID is the create docs, which we will rename in a second. And then we'll come down here for the text, and the edit fields will drag the covering letter in there. Okay, so that was create resume. This one, let's change the name to create covering letter, just so we can more easily see what's going on. So create the application folder. This is where the application, the resume and the covering letter goes. We create the resume, we update. Let's just change the name of that one. Update the resume, create a covering letter, and then update covering letter. All right, so that all seems to be working. Let's go and we'll run the update resume and create covering letter and update covering letter. Okay, those have all completed. Let's go over to the Google Drive. This is our applications folder, and we have the three folders. Let's have a look inside. So we have a covering letter and resume for that one, covering letter, resume for that one, and covering letter, resume for that one. Let's have a look at the covering letter. And you can see it's not very well formatted, which is why I'm going to add in a formatting option as well. And then the resume as well, not very well formatted. That's why I'm going to add in some extra AI to format these things. And the point in which we want to do that is directly after the edit fields. Before we create the application folder, we can create the AI. So let's put in an AI agent. And we'll define it below. And where's my AI agent gone? Okay, let's put it at the end. I don't want it there. I'm going to put it down here. And we can link that to the same model. I'm going to worry about changing that. And we'll call this one format resume. I'm going to copy that. We'll just come down to duplicate, and we'll put that one straight afterwards. And again, we'll connect that to the same chat model. So we'll put the chat models down here maybe. And let me move these, select them together, move them. All right, so we'll rename that format covering letter. And now we can go into the format resume and put in the code to help format. Let's go into the expression and open that. And the prompt that I'm going to give it is simple. You are a resume expert, starting with the text in this resume. You can see that I've already copied across the field. So all I would do there comes from the edit fields. Okay, and you can see the resume now is in here. Format it nicely in Markdown. Use proper headings and spacing for a resume. Make it look professional. Okay, and then for the covering letter, we'll do something very simple as well. Let's paste it in. So you're an expert cover letter writer specializing in professional job application documents. Format the following covering letter. And again, that information has come from the edit fields. Format the following covering letter with proper professional styling and structure. So requirements: use Markdown formatting for clean professional presentation. Add today's date at the top in standard format. Include proper letter structure, date, greetings, body paragraph, professional closing. Use appropriate spacing between sections. End with a formal sign-off, for example, sincerely or best regards, followed by a signature line. Ensure the tone is polished, confident and professionally formatted. Do not alter the content, only format and structure it properly. Okay, and then once that is done, we can then link it up to the create folder. Now, originally, when we were updating the resume, we were updating it from the edit fields. We now need to grab the output from the format resume, and for update covering letter, we need to grab it from the format covering letter. So let's go into update resume and come down here. That now is not what we want. We want to come down to Format Resume and grab the output from that. And then for the update covering letter, come down to this. We don't want the edit fields, we want to grab it from the format covering letter. Now, because I'm using a free local model, I'm going to add in another couple of safety checks here for these two, because I don't want any of the fences or anything like that with a markdown. I want to make sure the markdown we're getting is actually correct. So I'm going to paste in some instructions. Markdown output rules. Writing clean markdown using headings, lists, bold and italics. Do not wrap your response in code fences. Do not start with markdown or text. Begin directly with your content, no fencing, preamble or commentary. And then output raw markdown text only. So you can use that in your own automations if you want to. I'm doing it just to try to ensure we don't get all of that. So I'm going to add that to the bottom of this one as well. Now, with that all done, I am going to empty the applications folder and we're going to execute the workflow again. Okay, that's the complete automation run. Let's go in to the applications folder and we'll have a look at the first one. So the covering letter. Okay, you can see it is in Markdown. Let's cut that, paste from Markdown, and you can see the covering letter has formatting. Let's have a look at the resume. And there is the resume, again with nice formatting. Let's go and have a look at the next one. Now this one has included placeholders, which we didn't want. And also it's included that at the end. Didn't want that, so that has failed on that occasion. And this one has actually included the markdown, which we asked not to do. This is possibly all down to the model that we're using, so that hasn't even worked on that case. Let's come back and Pixel Forge covering letter. Okay, so that covering letter has been properly formatted, and the resume, that one is okay as well. Now it could be that my free model is struggling a little bit with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it again, but this time using an open router model. I'm going to come back in, going to delete, delete, and delete. We'll go back to our automation, and I'm going to sever the ties between that AI. We'll move that one up to the top, and I'll bring Open Router down, and we'll connect Open Router to all of the AI agents. Open that up, and we'll choose a different model. Typically for writing, I would use one of the Claude Sonnet models, but they're a little bit more expensive and a little bit slower. The Qwen 3, if we have a look for Qwen, well, it's Qwen 3 Max. It's Qwen 3 Max Thinking somewhere, that one. That is also quite good. It's fast. It's not quite as expensive as Claude Sonnet. But the one I'm going to choose is Gemini, and I'm going to have a look at the Gemini 2.5 Pro, which again is one that I always fall back on. So with that all selected, let's execute the workflow. Oh, before we do, let's check Open Router credits. We're on 45.41. Let's execute and we'll see how much this costs. Okay, that has executed successfully. Let's go to Open Router and see how much that costs, bearing in mind that this is 3 covering letters and 3 resumes. So I make that about 24 cents for that. Let's go into the applications and we'll see if it's done a better job. So the first one, covering letter, let's cut and paste as Markdown. Okay, we have a reasonably well formatted covering letter there. This bit at the top is just quick contact information. That's a nice idea. Let's have a look at the resume. There's a nicely formatted resume. Let's try the second one. This is the one that failed on the previous free model. And again, this isn't trying to do anything too fancy with the formatting. It's not putting headers in like that free one did. And to be fair, I think putting headers in makes your covering letter look a little bit different, but it is a little bit unusual. So again, we have the details of the person, the date, and it's signed off properly, Emma Clark. Let's have a look at the resume. Cut and paste. Nicely formatted resume. Let's have a look at the next one. Pixel Forge covering letter. So this is the last one, hopefully. Yeah, it's the same sort of formatting. It's nicely formatted, professionally formatted. And then the resume. There we go. So that's, again, very nicely formatted resume. From here, you could go through these resumes and the covering letters and do a little bit of tweaking. One tweaking that I would do is something I noticed in the covering letters is the dates are all different. So that one is 2023. This covering letter has a date of 2024. And what's this one up here? This one is also a 2024 date. So when we created the automation, we didn't actually specify to put today's date. We just said to include the date at the top or a date at the top, and it's not doing that. But this is all part of the process. You create your automations and you tweak them. If you want to have a play around with this automation, exactly as it is that I've created, or any of the others that are in the project section of this course, you can download the automations in the next section, and I will create a video to show you how to download and install them into your own N8N and have a play around with them.